Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if we are alone in the universe? It is the oldest question in human history. We spend billions of dollars building massive telescopes, launching probes into the dark, and listening for radio signals from distant galaxies. We are terrified of the idea that Earth is the only place where life exists. We are desperately searching for aliens. But what if we have been looking in the wrong direction this entire time? What if the reason we can't find the aliens is because we are looking up instead of looking in the mirror? What if we are the aliens? This isn't a science fiction plot. It is a genuine scientific hypothesis that has been debated by some of the brightest minds on the planet. It is called panspermia. And if it is true, it means that every single living thing on this planet, from the trees outside your window, to your pet dog, to you, is actually an extraterrestrial invasive species. To understand how this could possibly be true, we have to rewind the clock to the very beginning of the Earth. Around 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was not a beautiful blue marble. It was a terrifying, violent hellscape. It was a molten rock constantly being bombarded by massive asteroids and comets. The surface was essentially an ocean of boiling lava, and the atmosphere was a toxic soup of gases. Nothing could survive here. But then, almost as soon as the Earth cooled down enough to form solid crusts and liquid oceans, something impossible happened. Life appeared. The oldest fossil evidence we have of life on Earth dates back about 3.8 billion years. This is incredibly fast in geological terms. It suggests that the moment Earth became remotely habitable, life was just suddenly there. For decades, the dominant scientific theory was that life spontaneously generated in a warm little pond somewhere on early Earth. This is the primordial soup theory. It assumes that a random strike of lightning hit a puddle of chemicals and magically sparked the first living cell. But as biologists have dug deeper into the complexity of DNA and the microscopic machinery of even the simplest bacteria, the primordial soup theory has started to feel a bit statistically unlikely. Creating a living cell from random chemicals in a puddle is like expecting a tornado to blow through a junkyard and accidentally assemble a fully functioning jumbo jet. It takes an incredible amount of time for evolution to create complex microscopic life. And yet, life appeared on Earth almost instantly. This is where the panspermia hypothesis steps in. Panspermia argues that life did not start on Earth. It argues that the universe is actually teeming with the seeds of life, and that these seeds travel through space on comets, meteorites, and cosmic dust. If you find this idea completely mind-blowing, please drop a like on this video. It helps the channel out tremendously, and it tells the algorithm that you want to see more deep scientific questions like this. So, how could life possibly survive a journey through the freezing, irradiated vacuum of outer space? Biologists used to think space was a totally sterile environment that would instantly kill any living thing. But then, they discovered extremophiles. Extremophiles are microscopic organisms right here on Earth that can survive conditions that should be impossible. We have found bacteria living inside the boiling water of volcanic deep-sea vents. We have found them locked inside glaciers in Antarctica. We have found them miles underground in solid rock. And then, there are the tardigrades. Also known as water bears, these microscopic creatures are practically indestructible. Scientists have taken tardigrades, completely dried them out, frozen them to near absolute zero, blasted them with lethal doses of radiation, and actually exposed them to the vacuum of space on the outside of the International Space Station. When they brought the tardigrades back inside and added water, they woke up and started walking around like nothing had happened. If organisms on Earth can survive the vacuum of space, it is entirely possible that microscopic life could survive inside a comet for millions of years. Imagine an ancient planet, somewhere else in the galaxy, that was teeming with microbial life. Suddenly, a massive asteroid slams into that planet. The impact is so powerful that it blasts chunks of rock and ice out into space. Inside those rocks are millions of microscopic bacteria in a dormant, frozen state. These rocks float through the void for millions, maybe billions of years. Eventually, one of those rocks gets caught in the gravity of our sun. It hurtles toward a young, newly cooled planet called Earth. It crashes into the early oceans. The ice melts. The bacteria wake up, and the rest is history. Those alien bacteria multiply, evolve, and eventually become plants, animals, and humans. This means that you, and everyone you have ever known, are the descendants of alien microbes that crashed here billions of years ago. We are the aliens. Earth is just the planet we colonized. If you want to keep exploring the biggest mysteries of human existence, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. We dive into wild scientific theories like this every single week. But the panspermia theory gets even wilder. There is a subtheory called directed panspermia. This theory, proposed by Francis Crick, the very same scientist who co-discovered the structure of DNA, suggests that life didn't arrive on Earth by accident. Directed panspermia suggests that the seeds of life were intentionally sent here by a highly advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Why would they do that? Maybe their home planet was dying, and they wanted to ensure that biology survived in the universe. Maybe they were running a massive galactic experiment. Or maybe they are just universe gardeners, flying around and planting life on dead planets the way we plant seeds in a garden. If directed panspermia is true, then Earth is essentially a massive terrarium, and we are just the plants growing inside it. We might actually find proof of panspermia in our lifetimes. Scientists are currently sending rovers to Mars to search for ancient fossils. They are designing missions to drill into the ice of Europa, a moon of Jupiter that has a massive liquid ocean beneath its surface. If we find microbes on Mars or Europa, and we sequence their DNA, and their DNA looks exactly like ours, that would be the ultimate proof. It would prove that life spreads between planets. It would prove that we share a common ancestor with Martians. It would prove that life is a galactic infection, spreading from world to world, surviving the apocalypse, and finding a way to thrive in the dark. The next time you look up at the stars, don't just wonder if anything is looking back at you. Wonder if you are looking at your original home. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Did life start in a puddle here on Earth, or did it fall from the sky? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.